Okay, dear students, welcome to this class. So, already in first lesson, that is crop production and management, we have clearly learned about how these crops are produced in agricultural field by making different agricultural practices, by sowing seeds, manuring, protection of crops, weeding, yes or no? And even last one is the last concept harvesting, the storage of that crops, yes sir. And lastly about and also we get a food from animals and the rearing of that animals for our commercial purposes and food purposes. Some different cultures are there, apiculture, sericulture, like that. Okay, like that. Here I am coming with the next chapter, that is chapter number 2. What is this? Microorganisms. What it is? Micro means very small. Microorganisms. So very interesting biology chapter. Let's start, students. Okay. Microorganisms. Very interesting chapter is there. So you are seeing lot kind of variety of animals on this planet Earth, including plants and animals also. Some animals, some organisms are very larger in size, some animals are very smaller in size. Similarly, plants also, some plants are very larger in size, some are very smaller in size. But you know, students, some organisms are there. They cannot be even seen with our naked eye. So very smaller are there, very smaller are there. You cannot see with your eyes. Just imagine how much smaller their size is. Understand? Then how can we see that kind of organisms, sir? Yes, sir? Okay. If such question is asked in your mind, solution is there. You can see that kind of organisms which cannot be seen with your naked eye. How, sir? There is a device is there. That device name is what? Microscope. What it is? Microscope. With the help of that microscope, you can see that organisms which cannot be seen with your naked eye. Understand? ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರಿಗಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗದೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜೀವಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಚಿಕ್ಕದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ವಿಚಾರ ಬರಿಗಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಿಕ್ಕದಿರಬಹುದು ಅದು ಜೀವಿ. So such organisms are called microorganisms. Such organisms are called microorganisms. So you can see that kind of microorganisms only under the microscope. You know, students, who discovered that microscope? Who discovered microscope? I will give question for you. Try to find the answer for this question. Who discovered microscope? Understand? Well, one thing you know, to the whole world, you know, who shows the presence of this microorganisms on this planet Earth? You know who is that scientist? As Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Who's that? Anton von Leeuwenhoek. He is the scientist, first scientist who shows the presence of microorganisms on this planet Earth. Till him, people did not know about the presence of these microorganisms on this planet Earth. He is the scientist, he is the first person who shows the presence of microorganisms on this planet Earth. Understand? So from that discovery, there is a branch is opened in our science that deals with the study of these microorganisms, that we call it as a microbiology. Okay, dear students, come and enter in this chapter, microorganisms. See the tiny living things that can only be seen. The tiny living things that can only be seen under microscope. Under microscope are called microorganisms. Very easy to understand. Understand? The tiny living things that can only be seen under the microscope, they are said to be what? Microorganisms. Okay, students. If you want to see such kind of microorganisms, you must get the help of microscope. Okay. See, microbiology is there. The very important branch in our science. That is microbiology. What is the microbiology? So the science which deals with the science which deals with the study of microorganisms is called microbiology. So it's a branch of science which deals with the only study of microorganisms. So that branch of science we call it is microbiology. ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಾಣು ಜೀವಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಾಣು ಜೀವಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. So that is called microbiology. Okay. Let's come students. So these microorganisms, some microorganisms are very useful to human beings, but some microorganisms are very harmful to human beings. Both are there. Harmful microorganisms are there. Useful microorganisms are there. But some microorganisms that causes disease to human beings. Some microorganisms that causes diseases to the human beings. Such disease causing microorganisms. Such disease causing microorganisms are called what? Pathogens. Are called pathogens. Pathogens are nothing but disease causing microorganisms. Disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Just now it very simple. Okay. Because some organisms are very useful, some organisms are very harmful. Harmful means they causes the disease to human beings. So the microorganisms which causes the disease to human beings, they are said to be what? Pathogens. They are said to be pathogens. Okay. See students. So these microorganisms are totally grouped under 5 types. They are grouped into 5 types. So there are 5 types microorganisms are there on our planet Earth. Which are those? Let's see. So there are 5 types of microorganisms are there. First one, bacteria. This is the first group of microorganism, bacteria. Second group, fungi. Third group, algae. Fourth group, protozoa. What is protozoa? The last group is there, viruses. Clear? So totally all these microorganisms are grouped into 5 types. Bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. Okay, viruses. Okay, these are the 5 main types of microorganisms. Okay, dear students, let's learn one by one the general characteristics of this bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses one by one. Okay. Okay, let's see students. First one microorganisms are there, bacteria. What is bacteria? Bacteria is a plural form. In singular it is called bacterium. Bacteria is a plural form. Singular it is called bacterium. Okay. Let's see the general characteristics of this bacteria. So they are simplest microorganisms. And unicellular. Very important. Unicellular. Uni means what? Single. They contain only single cell. Understand? So they are simplest microorganisms and unicellular organisms. Very simple forms are there and they contain only single cell. Very important point. And they are found in a different shapes. So we can see the different shapes of bacteria. Different shapes are there. Depending upon their shapes, we give the name to that bacteria. Let's see. First one is the rod shaped. Rod shaped means like this. Okay. So this is what rod shaped bacteria. Rod shaped bacteria are commonly called as bacillus bacteria. What is bacillus bacteria? Understand? So lactobacillus bacteria, which is commonly present in your milk, that is the best example for lactobacillus bacteria. Bacillus means it is a rod shaped, this one, rod shaped bacteria. Okay. Second one is the spherical. Spherical means like this. Spherical shape, oval, spherical shape bacteria. Spherical shape bacteria are generally called as cocci bacteria or coccus bacteria. Cocci or coccus bacteria. Then third one is a spiral. Spiral means like this. Spiral. This is what we call spiral shape. The spiral shape bacteria are commonly called spirillum. What it is? Spirillum bacteria. Okay. The last one is the comma shape like this. Comma shape. The comma shape bacteria are called Vibrio bacteria. So commonly one bacteria is there, Vibrio cholera, which causes the cholera disease to human beings. So cholera is a bacterial disease which is caused by the Vibrio cholera. So Vibrio means common shape bacteria. So depend upon their cells, so these bacteria are classified into four groups: Bacillus bacteria, cocci bacteria, spirillum bacteria, and Vibrio bacteria. So, bacillus means rod-shaped bacteria, coccus means spherical shaped bacteria, spirillum means spiral shaped bacteria, vibrio means comma shape. Already one said one example. The cholera disease caused to human beings by the bacteria Vibrio cholera. This is a comma shaped bacteria. Okay. Let's see students. This is the general characteristics of bacteria. Plural bacteria, singular bacterium. Remember, they are very simplest microorganisms and unicellular means only single cell bacteria. Let's know. So they can grow rapidly. Bacteria can grow very rapidly. Bacteria, they can grow very rapidly. Then comes second main category of microorganisms, that is algae. Algae is a plural form. Singular it is called alga. Algae is a plural form. In singular it is called what? Alga. See the general characteristics. They are simple plant-like organisms. They are simple plant-like. They are looking like a plant because they are green in color. Plant-like means they are green in color because they contain a chlorophyll. Chlorophyll means it helps in the preparation of their food. It helps in the preparation of food. Understand? Hence they are called plant-like organisms. They are plant-like organisms because they contain chlorophyll for the preparation of food. Okay? See, some of them are unicellular. Unicellular means single cell. Algae are the best example. Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas is a single cell alga. Okay? Some of them are multicellular. Multicellular means they are made of more than one cell. They are made of more than one cell. If the organism made of more than one cell, it is said to be multicellular. What it is? Multicellular. Okay, best example for multicellular is the Spirogyra. So this is the Spirogyra organism. Picture is given in your text. They contain more than one cell. These are cells. So they contain more than one cell. This is Spirogyra. It is a multicellular alga. Okay. See, they find in water and possess chlorophyll. So normally these algae are found in water, pond water and sea water. But totally water. They can find in only water and they are plant-like organism. Some of them are multicellular. Best example Spirogyra. Some of them are unicellular. Best example Chlamydomonas. And remember, they are green in color because they contain chlorophyll, which helps in the preparation of their food. Okay, so these are the general characteristics of alga. Okay, let's see next one. Third main kind of microorganisms, they are protozoa. Protozoa is a plural for singular form is called protozoan. See, protozoa. Proto means first. Zoa means animal. Understand? Zoa means animal, either you can say organism. Proto means first, zoa means organism, first organisms. That means when Earth is formed, on this planet Earth, first arranged organisms are there. They are said to be what? Protozoa. They are said to be protozoa. Okay, let's see. So they are unicellular organisms. They are unicellular organisms. Unicellular means they are made of single cell. Protozoas are unicellular organisms because they are made of single cell and which cannot prepare their own food. Hence they are said to be heterotrophs. Understand? Heterotrophs means the organisms which cannot prepare their own food. They are said to be heterotrophs. Understand? So these are the first organisms. When planet Earth is formed, the first arranged organisms on this planet Earth are called protozoans. Proto means first, zoa means organisms. See, best examples are there. Amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular, Euglena is a unicellular, Paramecium and Plasmodium. So these are some examples for this protozoans. Understand? Protozoans are there. Okay, dear students, next coming is the fungi. What is fungi? Well, this is about the general characteristics of this what? Protozoa. The next one is the fungi. So fourth one is the fungi. Fungi is a plural form. Singular form is a fungus. Fungus is a singular form and plural form is called fungi. Okay. See the general characteristics. They are plant-like organisms. They are also plant-like organisms which are mostly saprophytes. Normally, most of the fungi are saprophytes. Saprophyte means they get their nutrition from dead or decaying matter. ಕೊಳೆತಂತ ಸಸ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಂದ ಆಹಾರ ಸೇವಿಸುತ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ರೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Most fungi are saprophytes because they get their nutrition from dead or decaying organic matter. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸತ್ತಂತಹ ಕೊಳೆತ ಸಸ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಂದ ಇವು ಆಹಾರ ಪಡೆಯುತ್ತವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳೆತ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ, ಸಸ್ಯಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಂಗಿ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನು ಶಿಲೀಂಧ್ರಗಳಿರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಸಮ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ಸ್. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಜೀವಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬದುಕ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಯುನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲರ್. Unicellular means some fungi are unicellular, some fungi are multicellular. Example for unicellular fungi is the yeast. Example for multicellular is mushroom. ನಾಯಿ ಕೊಡೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಿರಲ್ಲ, ನಾಯಿ ಕೊಡೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this is a mushroom. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಇದು? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ ಕೊಳೆತ ಪ್ರದೇಶ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳೆತ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೊಳೆತ ವಸ್ತು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ನಾಯಿ ಕೂಡ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮಶ್ರೂಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಂಗಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಂಗಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ viruses. So we will discuss about that general characteristics of viruses in a next class. Okay. Take down these notes in your HW and read well. Okay. I hope you clearly understood this types of microorganisms. In next classes we will discuss about viruses. Okay. Thank you for watching this class.